Something that's very common that I see as a source of struggle for new shooters, especially those who are defensive minded, is this idea of competing information. So let's say that you're a new shooter. You've sort of gotten to where you feel like you're comfortable with your competency to the point where you can carry in public, concealed carry, and that's something you're interested in. And then you get online, you get on YouTube or Google or searching in the forums that you may participate in or at least sort of lurk on, and you do a search, what's the best way to conceal carry a weapon? Or what's the best weapon to conceal? And you get all of these different ideas, and people that are just seem to have the pedigree to know what they're talking about, or at least purport to have the pedigree online, and here's person A you really, I hate to say idolize, but you really respect their opinion and you believe they know what they're talking about, and then you got person B who fits that same mold, and person A is saying you have to do it this way, only this way works, and only with this weapon, anything short of that is stupidity. And then person B, who you have an equivalent level of respect for, walks up and says, person A is stupid, and everything they said is exactly the opposite. And then here you are, someone who's a novice, looking at this information and trying to decipher, well, where do I go? I mean, whenever there's completely opposite directions that this information seems to be pulling you in, how do you even get started? And what I would say is, be very wary of anyone that speaks only in absolutes. Okay? There are some times you'll hear me say things as an instructor, very few times, but there are times where I'll say, this is better than this. And here's the key. If someone only speaks in absolutes, typically they're just talking to you to prop up their methodologies. It's sort of self-serving. They want to feel like what they're doing is the best way because it's how they know how to do it. And so if I can convince you that what I'm doing is right, then it makes me feel even more right about what I'm doing. There's some psychological backing behind that sort of philosophy. So if someone only speaks in absolutes, they're probably not worth your admiration, and certainly not the only source of information you should be collecting from. If they speak in absolutes at all, even if rarely, make sure that they're backing that up with something that seems to be logical. That if their absolute is given only as subjective information in the skin of logic, in other words, I say, you should only ever shoot in the isosceles stance, period, and walk away. And so I'm delivering something that I'm propping up as logical or an absolute, but I'm delivering it in a subjective way because I'm not giving you any evidence. So when somebody says, you should only ever shoot in the isosceles stance, if you have the environmental opportunity to, and it's because of this, and all of these thises make sense to you, or you can corroborate the logic behind the qualifiers in other ways, then maybe that's an okay thing. So if you're starting out new and you're looking for answers to questions like, what's the best gun for this purpose? What's the best technique for this mission? How should I do this? You're looking for concise, and you're on some level you're almost looking for an absolute. You're looking for direction. Be very wary of the person who only has one way and isn't very good at telling you why that's the way it is. Appendix carry a Glock 43 or you're stupid. Mall ninjas.